Kevin McCullough.
Well, as the box office receipts showed from 1 week ago, The Chosen is going to be huge this spring at the theaters. As you can see the entire season on the big screen before it comes to the small screen. And last week we spoke with the man who played Jesus, Jonathan Roumie. This week I returned to the set of The Chosen to discuss season 5 from the perspective of Peter, Andrew, and John, 3 of Christ's most beloved disciples. Here with Peter, Andrew, and John. Shahar, Peter's often depicted as this person that, you know, the church comes from out of, and he's got kind of like a will to him. But there's obviously a lot of flaws and struggles. As we're getting to the intense part of the story, how are you preparing for that coming change?
I think I'm learning to let go of any preconception that I had about what's going to happen. So I thought I'm on pretty stable ground when I got the mantle to become kind of a leader in this situation,
Right.
and now it's I need to get ready to lose control and lose my ability to grasp what's about to happen, what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm everything that happens during this season is a surprise and a shock, really a shock, from the things that are being said and the things that I see in front of me. So I think it's about it's just about letting go.
Yeah. Noah, Andrew is a sibling and he's a disciple. And Peter's having his struggles and Andrew's working with that. How are you pulling that out in your performance?
Yeah, it's something that's really important to Andrew. I mean, there's a lot of pride, not in a bad way, but a lot of love and wanting to support, you know, Peter as my brother. And so I think that anytime that Peter falters, Andrew in some way takes it personally and is worried for him. It's almost like a writer watching their play be presented to an audience for the first time, and you're like, oh, no, oh, wait. And you're almost like more nervous than maybe even the people on stage. And so I think that it sometimes when those things come up, especially in this season, Andrew would go to bat for Peter and also doesn't believe that some of these things being said may be true.
Yeah.
Not to get too more into spoilers, but
George, John's moving into a part now where Matthew's been the only scribe, and now John's going to start increasingly move towards that, you know, preparing to write a gospel. What has changed about where your character is headed? How much more is he taking in versus just experiencing, trying to preserve? Because obviously the Gospel of John is very important. It's, you know, one of the longest lasting pieces of literature that we have. But how is George preparing John for that adjustment?
Well, I always say that his his journey is from thunder to love, right?
Yeah.
And so he has to go from this zealous, passionate, emotional fisherman to become this disciple of love. And it needs to come with proximity, both to Jesus in a spiritual sense and literally in a physical sense. So what we see in season 5 is John start to actually see through the parable. It's almost like seeing through the matrix, and he's putting it all together and going like, oh, I think I know what he's saying. And by staying close to him and hearing things, he's able to detect what's going to happen to Jesus before the other disciples.
Yeah.
And it does lead to a tumultuous kind of an eruption within the disciples where they argue about what is ultimately going to happen to Jesus.
Well, this has been the gang of kind of dunderheads, like up until about the Last Supper. Like up until now, what's he talking about? Is it really happening? But this is where we say the stuff is about to get real.
Yeah.
And how much did any of you identify with the emotions of what your characters were going through heading into this?
Yeah, I think throughout it's all identifying with all of it. You know, it's all it's written in such a way that reads true. I don't know. To me, it just reads very, very true. And so I would say throughout the show, since the beginning, since the first episode of the first season, it all read to me very, very honest. And up until now, up until every season, the emotional journey read to me very honest. And I didn't feel like I need to summon up something. It just felt like a really honest take and progression of something that is happening that connected in a pretty seamlessly.
I do think that Peter is, like, for all of his faults and strengths, I think he's the most transparent of them all. And that's even where he chops the guy's ear off and, like, right up to the end. Like, he's just, there's no fluff about it. Anyway, thank you, gentlemen. Congratulations.
Thank
Look forward
you.
to it.
Yeah.
Can we grab a selfie real quick?
Yeah, yeah.
I want to do this for the famous Noah smile.
You must know something. I do believe that Jesus is most likely the Messiah.
Why?
Why what?
Why do you believe that?
I've seen too much.
Then why are you doing this?
I suppose I have not seen enough.
Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem.
You can run on for a long time.
My house shall be called a house of prayer, but you make it a den of thieves!
By what authority are you doing these things?
My own!
Sooner or later, gotta cut you down.
We have a problem. Jesus operates entirely outside our jurisdiction.
Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees! Stop this at once!
The world is changing, and Jesus offers a vision to redeem it.
He's not the Messiah!
Tell him that God's gonna cut you down.
Declaring yourself a sovereign, Rome will descend on us all!
Sooner or later, gotta cut you down.
The Pharisees are plotting to arrest Jesus of Nazareth.
Sooner or later, gotta cut you down.
I want peace, just like you. If you go through with this, our alliance is over.
Sooner or later, gotta cut you down.
Be right back.